Hey guys, wanted to do a quick trade review um, this evening. Hopefully, you had a good trading week. I had a pretty good trading week this week, but hopefully, you did have a good trading week. And like I always say, one, you grew your account. Two, you mitigated risk, and three, you took A+ setups. So, wanted to do a review of XOM. I've been trading Exxon Mobil literally for the past 2 weeks just because energy's been real strong. But like we always do, let's start off with a quick market review here. So you can see, um, kind of coming into the day, everything looked pretty strong. You can see the ES was above the 21 and the 100 day. If we go down to the SPY and the Qs, you can see the SPY was definitely stronger, leading the pack compared to the Qs. It was above that 21 and 100 day. Um, and then the Qs was definitely above the 21, but pushing up towards the 100 day. And VIX really was underneath that 21 day, and it was pushing down towards support of that 100 day simple moving average. So you can see here, really, I was expecting the market maybe to have some strength just because of we had this strong bullish candle from the SPY um, prior on Thursday. So I was expecting a push up today. To a certain extent, it's just too bad the Qs wasn't tagging along and really pushing as well. I think that's why we didn't get that push back up towards that 456 levels, because the Qs are still underneath that 100 day. Um, so now let's go into the trade. Let's talk about how this trade got set up. Um, so if we're looking at sectors, really XLE and XLU have been the stronger sectors as of late, and they've kind of rebounded from the past week. So you can see here, if you look at XLE, XLE has basically been having straight in the market since last Thursday. So that was the 17th. So once it bounced off of there, I was expecting XLE to actually move back up towards all-time highs here at $80.22 for the sector. So today I was expecting a push. Now if we go into XOM right here, you can see we had, essentially a breakdown, right? We had selling pressure, but today we had that relief of selling pressure coming in. And as of the 21st, you can see here, XLE was above that 21. So I was once again expecting a push up. And really, I would have liked XLE to open up around that 84 80 level, 85 level, because then I think we can have a push back up towards all-time highs, but it didn't. But I still was expecting to push up. So as you guys know, I like to trade squeezes. So if we go into XOM, once again, we're on a 5-minute chart here for XOM. And let's go, before we do that, let's go into the 4-hour. So you can see here on the 4-hour chart, kind of going into, exactly why I was expecting it to go up as well. Just some more confirmation here is we had a huge bullish candle on the 4-hour chart, and we had that buying pressure coming in. Plus, you can see here, we were starting to break out of that 4-hour. So definitely was expecting a push up for XLE today, since we had that huge bullish candle coming in. If we go to the 1-hour, you can see here, it looked real good on the 1-hour. We were actually breaking out of a squeeze. So you can see it was squeezing on the 1-hour. And as we opened, we were breaking out of the squeeze today. And honestly, like I said, I was expecting a bit more of a push up on that breakout, but we did initially have a pretty good push for XOM out of the gate today. And then we kind of slowly started moving back up towards the end of the day. But if we go into the 5-minute, this is where I actually traded XOM. So you can see here, we had that initial push, right? Breaking out of that 1-hour squeeze. And then we pushed up, and then we essentially went all the way up to 84 or 85.49, retraced, not quite back to the daily level, but retraced a bit, and then we just started consolidating. So this is where, I was like, hey, great move. Looking for a squeeze, Boom, we started getting a squeeze around 11:30, 11:25 my time, so 11:25 Mountain Time. And so this is when I really started watching XOM here. And if we look at these charts side by side, let me put XOM over here just so you guys can see exactly how I like to trade these squeezes. And then we'll put XLE here. So I always have the sector up as well as that individual stock. Okay, so you can see, let me just move this out. Just kind of do a split screen here. So you can see XOM was squeezing, and XLE was squeezing at the same time as well, right? So XLE, the only thing that I didn't like is let's see where XLE started to squeeze. You see where XLE started to squeeze at? They weren't like squeezing, perfectly together, because when that squeeze started on XLE, it was 11:55, and XOM, actually was about a dot in front of XLE. So I like for them to really to just kind of squeeze on one accord, because you could see XLE was breaking out at 12:05, and XOM was still on the squeeze. So not a perfect setup, but they still were squeezing at the same time. If they're squeezing and breaking out at the same time, that's really when you got an A+ setup here. But I got in XOM at 12:28, so I got in once it started breaking out here. So this first breakout was started at 12:25, so I ended up getting in. I ended up getting in about right here, along that 10 MA in that Bollinger Band squeeze, and then I exited at 12:35. So I actually exited on this next bar, but literally I got in here and then I exited essentially right there, right at the top, around the 8506, 8507 range is when I exited. And the thing you got to remember about the squeeze is premiums fluctuate a lot once that squeeze breaks. So it's kind of like when the stock's in the squeeze, those premiums are kind of, asleep, kind of just hanging out, right? They're not inflated. But once it starts to break on these green bars right here is when your premium goes up. So I think when I entered, actually, the premiums on XOM, because it was an $85 call, so it was like $20, and then I got out for 23. So not a huge move, but it was still quick 15% return, 15% return on the trade. So, and I think when I look back earlier, I think these were 19 cents when I got in. So if you would have got in at 19 cents, you would have had a little bit more of a return there as well. But hey, I'll take 15% all day. Now, the reason why I got out, because I would have stayed in the trade. Usually I like to stay in, because once it breaks out of the squeeze, you're looking at anywhere from 6 to 9 bars, green bars, as it breaks out. But what I was looking at, and this is why you always want to trade with the sector. So if you look at XLE, you can see here, XLE had a resistance of 78.86. And so you can see when I got out of the trade, you see this green bar right here. Now we were still 4 or 5 green bars into the breakout here, but it was essentially right at the top of that resistance level. So if you're seeing my little purple line hover, we was right at the top of the resistance level here. So that's why I exited the trade literally in between this candle moving and this candle opening is when I got out, is when I got filled. So I pretty much got a perfect fill on that exit. So yeah, so that's the XOM trade. Was pretty patient this week. Missed some pretty good trades today. I was in meetings and I actually missed those trades. I'll show you a quick one here. Um, Not the perfect setup, but definitely a good squeeze. You can go in light and still make a ton of money on this. Um, so you can see Google was squeezing, and usually Google doesn't squeeze. I mean, it was squeezing at 11 o'clock. So usually you're looking at 12:30, 1 o'clock when Google's squeezing. If you go back on Thursday, you can see here Google started squeezing at 10:55, but it didn't break out here until like 1. So it squeezed that whole time. You usually have a squeeze like this. You don't have a squeeze um, with this fast of a breakout. It started squeezing at 10:45 and then broke out pretty fast, right? Usually like to see that breakout towards the end of the day. But anyways, it squeezed here. Wasn't a perfect squeeze like the previous day, but I still would have played this. Squeezed. You had a blue bar, which probably would have shook some people out. But then you had this move up off that mid Bollinger Band. It retraced, so you could have actually stayed in on this trade. Now, what would have helped is it retraced down here, and then right here it was kind of holding that 5 MA, so that would have kept you in the trade there. Because you could have gotten in here and then got out. Usually, if the stock is going to be strong out of a break, it holds that 5 MA out of the break. And so it held it the whole way. When I was looking back at premiums, if you would have bought the 28, I think it was a 28.50 or no 28.30 on this, it went from like $250 to like $900 in an hour. So pretty would have been a pretty good trade for Friday. But those are like I said, the types of trades I like to get on stocks. And I was really hoping that Google would start squeezing towards the end of the day today. It started to squeeze a bit, but you can see it broke down. I wish it would have started squeezing again after it broke out and then kind of started going up. But, and the reason being, if we go back and look at Google here, had a strong bar. I mean, that's a pretty powerful bullish candle on Thursday. So I was expecting Google to take off and go to, at least 28.67, 28.60, 66, but we didn't have that strength. And I think if we would have had the strength with the SPY and the Q, it definitely would have pushed up. So anyways, with that being said, hopefully you had a good trading week. If you do have any questions or concerns, you know what to do, hit me up. If you want me to review anything, want me to explain anything, please hit your boy up. Please like and subscribe if you do like the content. Definitely trying to grow the channel and willing to help those out that want to be helped. Anyways, everybody have a good weekend. Get some rest up, study up, and I will talk with you later.